It's now my great pleasure to invite Madame Seck to make her presentation. Please.
Merci. Monsieur the UNDEF chair of the advisory board, Mr. Rich, the executive head of UNDEF. I'm coming from Senegal. My daily work is on environmental issues. I'm an activist on environmental issues. That's the reason why I was elected president of the national platform, CONGAD. And we had an idea, CONGAD and all the 7 platforms from Africa, from Benin, from Togo, from Guinea, from Mali, from Niger, from Chad and Burkina Faso, to put our force together to be able to be stronger. So this 8 national platform receive a grant from United Nations Democracy Fund, and we are very glad to be here to present our work. We are more than 500 NGOs, members of REPAOC. The secretariat is based in Senegal, inside the CONGAD. And our aim is to organize a regional dialogue between NGOs to promote good governance, defend human rights, and fight against poverty. So REPAOCs were created to reinforce the civil society organization in public policies by sharing our expertise and interacting with governmental bodies. Our 4 main goals are to ensure the better participation of the NGOs, how to take a position, and how to lead the common advocacy campaign. Also, how to reinforce our platforms to develop the good governance, provide services to NGOs, facilitate dialogue, but also to create a space for our NGOs to be more effective in the region. We would like also to address key issues on concern to national, international medias. The UNDEF helps us to have a higher visibility, because in many international organizations and many international meetings, we will be able to be there. And we will be able also to work with the West African Union, to the African Development Foundation, and to the African Development Bank. We will be also able to develop our expertise in EPAs, for example. And we were able to force our government not to sign the agreement. It's bad that the ambassador of France is gone, because last year in Portugal, our government went for the EPAs, the Economic and Partnership Agreement, but because of the work of society, the work of REPAOC, our government didn't sign the agreement. In fact, they delayed it. And our support from UNDEF help us to have these 8 national platforms to be more strong together, to have the website to be able to work together, to have also our space for communication, because a lot of NGOs, a lot of civil society that don't have access to the internet, but because of the UNDEF project, and we will be able to have 8 cyberspace in each of the country to be able to interact, to be able to communicate together. And all of us, we have this website ready. We are adopting and addressing common position. I was telling you about the EPAs, but we will be able to develop 12 studies. I gave a book to Anne-Sophie, who helped me to come here, a book about aid effectiveness, that the meeting we had in Accra 2 weeks ago, about the high-level session on aid effectiveness. And we will be able, at the national level, to develop our expertise in many thematics, like environmental issues, that Burkina work on environmental issues, about POPs, about GMOs, desertification, climate change. We'll be able to talk about child labor that was in Guinea, about EPAs in Niger, about the conflict and small weapon in Chad, about the NEPAD in Senegal, aid effectiveness in Senegal and in other countries, the WTO and trade, the cotton, debt, and democracy. We will be able to develop the non-governmental diplomacy, because for us, it's important to create the non-governmental diplomacy to be able to address the problem as the issues in Africa. Our other result we done, because Gas, before your support, I'm mixing French and English, I'm sorry. Anne-Sophie made me speak in English because she said, no interpreter. I thought, how come? The big United Nations, you can have an interpreter, you make me suffer in English. I'm sorry. So we will be able to have more than 500 emails, support the 8 national platform, recruit people, and also to think about how we can help our government to be more reliable. And our next step for next year, we are very engaged to work on aid effectiveness and how we can work on budgeting, how we can develop some observatoire to be able to follow the budget transparency and to help our civil society to have a better watchdog mission. Mr. the Director, Mr. the President of the Board, we know that for us, civil society is important to organize ourselves. It is important because we know that the democracy cannot be implemented from abroad. We need to build a stronger civil society, and us, as a young generation, we need to focus to help our government to be more transparent, to be more accountable, no? Accountable. And me, I am here on the behalf of more than 500 NGOs. I'm the president of CONGAD, of Senegal, president of REPAOC. And right now, at the next month, we're going to meet in Paris for the meeting of the platforms. And right now, more than 7 other platforms would like to join us from Gabon, from Congo, from RDC, from Burundi, and other countries from Central and West Africa. Okay, thank you. Elle, I hope I was very clear in English. I'm sorry.
If anybody has any questions for Madame Sek, please.
Okay, Anne-Sophie.
Thank you, Or, for this clear presentation in English. I have followed a little bit your project, and I also know that the fact of strengthening the platform of the REPAOC in West Africa has also opened you international cooperation and best practice in that regard. And I would be grateful if you could talk a little bit about that.
About the international? Cooperation
of the REPAOC as well.
Okay, for the international cooperation, we had a strong cooperation with Interaction. Interaction is the board of American NGO. We work together on relational governance. But we work also with the government of Spain and the government of France. Like, for example, our partnership with Coordination Sud. Coordination Sud is a national platform of France, and they help us for the methodological approach. For Spain, we have been able to have a partnership with the government of Spain, in fact, for Tenerife. And we are going to open the European office of REPAOC in Tenerife to be able to have a stronger relationship with Spanish NGOs and European NGOs. But at the international level also, we are trying to get in touch with the Open Society Institute and from the EABD, the United Nations, the GEF, on these environmental issues, because we know that climate or desertification or all sanitation we need to be addressed, because the poverty reduction will start by addressing all these issues on food security, on sanitation, on health, and other this kind of issues. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for your listening.
Merci beaucoup, Madame Sek, très intéressant.